Two Panhandle powers squaring off in a non-district showdown. Bushland and Canadian bringing the fireworks on a Friday night.
And it's tradition, it's toughness. Stratford and Panhandle meet in another classic small school battle under the lights. That and much, much more ahead on The Locker Room.
The Locker Room on Fox 14.
Welcome into the Locker Room. Clint Brakefield alongside Max Preston and Corin Davis. Thank you for joining us for your complete high school football recap from across the High Plains.
Yep, week 2 brought rivalries, road trips, and plenty of non-district showdowns, and we've got the highlights covered for you tonight.
And we start things off at Dick Bivens Stadium with the Tascosa Rebels looking to keep momentum rolling while Wichita Falls Legacy comes to town trying to make a statement. Can they do that? I don't know. Tascosa's on a roll right now. Look how fired up they are. They're ready to bring home a win tonight. Let me tell you, first quarter, Trayson Elliott stumbles his way into the end zone for a T-Rebs tutty. They try to go for 2, come up short, so it's 6-0 Rebs. What do you say we run it back? Same play, same side, same player. He does stay up this time. Tascosa leads 12-0, number 22, bringing in the second touchdown of the night. How about we check in on the defense since the offense is settled in? Let me tell you, Chris Johnson has everything handled on that side of the ball. He said he wanted to get to the QB this year. He's doing that. Midway through the second quarter, you guessed it, Tascosa's explosive ground game gets into the end zone again, courtesy Elliott, and they win it 53-3 at Dick Bivens Stadium. I don't know, Max, for some reason I always end up covering your alma mater. You always end up covering Niles.
A little high for some reason, but let's do it. Taking on a 6A squad in San Angelo Central. They like a tough non-district schedule.
They do.
Clint. They sure do. Sandy's opening drive after a touchback, Emerald High's Jude Donovan down the sideline here. 70 yards to the house for the opening score. You're not touching him. 7-0 Sandy's. Bobcats would answer though. Score their own. Micah Smith connects with his receiver for the long touchdown pass, and it's tied 7-7. After both offenses stalled, Sandy's in scoring territory again. Oliver Parsons would tack on another score for HS, 14-7. Tied 14-14 before half. Jet Lopez, Austin Sluter, watch him go to work. He does the rest. That's over 70 yards for another touchdown, 24-14 at halftime. Amarillo High goes on to win it 41-21. What 6A competition?
A lot of athletes in that Sluter family. I don't know about Randy, but the Sluters, they definitely get it done. Randall taking on Monahans. Happy State Bank Stadium we go. Randall gets on the board first. How about this power run from Danny Nunez? Think he does some squats?
Oh, yeah, he sure does.
Power's in. Number 11's in for 6. A little while later, it's going to be Kaysen Benton. Now we get the real Dre Day. The nickname even fits better now, and he definitely sticks out with those shoes.
I like it.
Drayden Ray in for the touchdown. It's Dre Day all day at Randall. They would go for 2. I don't know if it actually should have counted, but I'm going to count it. They counted it. 15-0. Randall goes up. How about more from Randall's defense this time? Monahans drops back to pass, and I'm telling you, this offense, they didn't want any more of Randall after tonight. Brecken Ireland back to the end zone, sidesteps his way in, and he's in.
It's the luck of Ireland.
Nothing Randall. Quite the performance at home for the Raiders.
Let's stay in that district. Go up to Hereford and check out the hostile Herd first quarter. Hereford nearing the end zone. Caleb Ramirez hits Bricks Machin in the back of the end zone there for the touchdown. They're on the board first. But as Staccato responds, a lot of 806ers know this guy's name, Cedric Ross. Cuts through the middle of the defense for the score. It's tied 7-7. Colorado State, yes sir. Second quarter, Ramirez rolling out. He will hit Bennett Bell, who gets into the end zone for 6. Hereford back up 14-7. On the ensuing kickoff, though, James Bozeman is going to field this one and watch him go to work. He is going to take it the distance for a return touchdown for the Matadors.
He runs up
fast? That made it 14-13. Yeah, he's very fast down the sideline. This was a close one tonight. Estacado escapes with a 35-33 win. Close one for Hereford.
Bennett Bell there in Hereford. A lot of you will recognize this name, Don DeLosier. That's his grandson. He's carrying on that tradition pretty well there in Hereford.
All right, now we go to Canyon Andrews. First quarter, Noah Sanchez fires it to Baylor Schilling. He turns on the wheels. First down for the Eagles. Snap a little too high for Reese Baca here. He recovers it. Unfortunately, when he gets rid of it, it's an interception, and the Mustangs put their first points on the board. But the Eagles are looking to soar. Baca connects with Schilling once more, and this time it turns in favor of the Eagles. Schilling all the way down the sideline. Canyon wins this one 22-16. But there was another exciting game at Dick Bivens Stadium last night, right, Clint?
Paladero Caprock met up there in a nice little rivalry game. Crosstown rivalry, first points of the season. Who had this on their bingo card? It's going to come from Deuce Reese. Lottie had that. Did anybody think it was going to come on defense? Yes. Deuce Reese, pick 6, 7-0 Paladero Dons. Now this, back in his usual position of quarterback. Nice play here. He's going to roll to his right, and he's going to throw it up. And check out this catch in the back of the end zone.
Let's see it.
By Daniel Moses. Pulls that in, and Paladero goes up 14-0. Don's knocking on the door. Darian All-Day Lewis.
Stiff arm.
In it, Wildcat. That's like a cheat code when they get inside the 5. Paladero wins 48-0. Sticking with Class 4A scores, West Plains goes on the road. They win 58-0 over Horizon. Dumas, 51-6 winners over Borger, and Pampa falls on the road at Plainview. This is a good Plainview team. That's a nice little statement there from Pampa that they're going to be able to hang with these teams. That's going to continue to make that 4A district that much more fun. Perryton hosted Dalhart. They get the win 27-26. Still ahead tonight, one of the best small town matchups of the night on the High Plains.
Stratford and Panhandle always delivers.
And we'll have those highlights right after the break, so keep it here.
From Fox 14 News, The Locker Room continues.
Welcome back inside the locker room. We are just getting warmed up.
Ooh, and there's nothing like the Friday night, or nothing says Friday night lights like the Canadian and Bushland rivalry game.
Two programs with tradition meeting early in the year. Let's go to the field in Canadian. Bushland taking on the Wildcats. Let's check it out. Weston Mitchell is going to get things rolling.
They look ready to rock.
Yeah, they are. Running out of the tunnel. Here we go. Rolling out to his left. Finds open Riggs Pennington. This is a big man right here. I believe he's about 6'5", 6'6". He's down the sideline for a touchdown. Wildcats 7-0. Bushland working to answer back on a 4th and very long. Colton Strickland looks deep and finds Asher Koenig as he hauls it in just before the pylon. Strickland hands it off to Bryson Jimenez to finish the scoring drive and tie it at 7 apiece. Canadian again calls Pennington's number, and they get him his 2nd touchdown of the game. 14-7. Now just before the end of the first half, Bushland strikes back. Cannon Avon finds other fellow QB Colton Strickland to bring the Falcons closer, 17-14. But Canadian defeats Bushland in this one. A big win for Canadian, 24-14.
One of my favorite things about that matchup is you get a playoff feel.
Yeah, you get a playoff feel. Like two very good teams. Playoffs.
Another team looking for a big win tonight is River Road and Aaron Wampler. Their first win of the season, playing host to Tulia. Can they make it happen? First quarter here. Ryan Essery hands it off to Broderick McGowan. Nobody's touching him here. It's a track meet early at Wildcat Stadium. River Road up 6-0. Tulia looking to stop another River Road touchdown. Forces a fumble at the 1-yard line. They're waiting for the call here. And it is Hornets ball. Can they get some momentum? Tulia doesn't see success after the fumble recovery, but Essery does. He marches into the end zone. Second quarter there, River Road up 13-0. They go on to win this one, 27-12. Aaron Wampler's first win as a Wildcat. How about that? Let's take a look at some other 3A scores from the night. Childress hosted Breckenridge. They come out on top 21-14. Freona beats Spearman 40-29. Spearman is hopefully going to find some momentum in week 3 after falling 0-2. Dimmitt faced Olton on the road. The Mustangs topped the Bobcats at home 33-14.
And now let's go to our locker room game of the week. We go to Panhandle taking on Stratford. Our man Kel Steed from Trespass Sports there for us. We're going to start in the first drive. Guess who? Broxton
Broxton?
Robinson should be the answer. Number one answer on the board is Broxton Robinson. Stratford answers Chase Lanamy. Down the sideline, Darius Jones tipped up. What a catch, 7-6 panhandle. Back comes Robinson. Breaks to the outside. Runs like a fullback with speed and an arm, right?
That's what you
More from
are.
Broxton again on second and 15.
Big
Check
dog,
out this
big dog.
juke that frees up him for another score, 27-13. How about this win? A statement for the state. 61-19 winners over Stratford. Here's Dane Ashley after the big win.
Yeah, I think the thing that kind of makes the offense unique is we have a lot of weapons,
Yeah.
you know, and people have got to defend the entire field. You know, we've got great outside receivers, we've got great slot receivers, good running back, great quarterback. He runs well with the ball, and he can put it where we need to, you know. So it really makes everybody spread out and protect the whole field, and that creates running lanes.
Now let's take a look at some more scores from around the area. Fritch, they get a win over Clarendon, and WT High all over Shamrock, 76-0. Sunray and Abernathy going head-to-head. Abernathy wins 20-16. Island Park went up against Bovina. Bovina in their revamped stadium get a win, 46-18. Groover facing Texoma. Groover doing Groover things, 46-12.
Love to see it.
Seagraves 34-6 over Vega.
Texaco and Farwell facing each other. Farwell wins 44-6. Wheeler was on the road against Morton. Wheeler wins it 55-6. And finally, Wellington hosted Frederick. Wellington wins it 23-13.
Now let's take a look at our cheer squad of the week.
Whoop, whoop.
And we go to the Tascosa
Hey,
Rebels.
how
They
about
had
those
plenty
Rebels?
to cheer about
Hey, how
tonight.
about those Rebels?
That's Tascosa gets the win at home, and that defense looks stifling. The cheer squad had a lot to say about it. Still ahead, we're checking in on the smaller schools. Plenty of 1A action plus New Mexico and Oklahoma.
Like you said, plenty of 1A action. New Mexico and Oklahoma scores and highlights are coming up.
We're also going to dip into the college landscape. West Texas A&M University had their home opener last night. That's all coming up on the Locker Room.
Welcome back to the Locker Room. We still have plenty of highlights and scores to get to. It's time to check in with our six-man teams as well as New Mexico and Oklahoma.
One of those six-man matchups included Amarillo, Pachia, and Wilderado.
Let's go to Wilderado on a Thursday night. It was a beautiful night for football.
On a Thursday.
Landry Johnson, he's going to go to Carson May. In the end zone for the first touchdown. Nice catch.
Ran out.
Doesn't it always just look pretty when it's coming from the left side, too?
Yes. Coming
For
from your
the
side.
additional point, we get Landry Johnson tossing to Madrid. This was also a really pretty touchdown. Pachia wins it 73-27.
All right, let's take a look at some other scores around the Texas Panhandle. Naz hosted Borden County. They won 59-26. McLean faced Booker. Booker topped McLean 20-14. Happy was on the road against Whiteface. Whiteface gets the win 50-0. Claude hosted Petersburg, and the Mustangs come out with a 54-6 win. Boys Ranch played host to Lasbuddy. There we go. All right, Boys Ranch gets the win at home, 60-0, and Groom went on the road to face Headley to take home the win, 58-14. Finally, White Deer hosted La Force, and they come out on top, 54-8.
Checking with New Mexico. Portales welcomed Bernalillo tonight. Bernalillo wins 19-13, and then Clovis taking on Cleveland. Cleveland wins that one 57-0.
Yeah, Guyman went head-to-head with Hooker, and Hooker comes out on top 39-0. Corin, let's go to a game you were at last night.
Woohoo.
WT, go Buffs, go.
WT playing host to Colorado School of Mines, and there were a lot of people in the room too. Fourth and goal for the Buffs. RJ Martinez, I get to know the name. Him on the keeper. WT goes up 7-0. Mines does find an answer though. They tie it at 7, so we're going to see how the Buffs can handle that. Martinez breaks free here, turns on the Jets. Nobody's stopping them. 29 tries to. You see, he tries to catch up. Not even close. That guy was unstoppable. Second quarter, mine's up 21-14. Busts in the red zone. Same song and dance for Martinez. He had 133 rushing yards, 273 passing yards, and 3 touchdowns. Unfortunately, WT loses on a safety, 33-31. Not the way you want to go out at home in your home opener.
Now let's go to our play of the week. And it's going to be Deuce Reese on offense. He's going to roll out. Just what this catch again by Daniel Moses in the back of the end zone. Goes up and gets it. Juggling act. Also perfectly placed right over the defender.
Gotta do it in slow-mo.
Play of the week. Now our player of the week. And again, the way we will look at these is who we awarded in week number 1. That honor went to Jet Lopez. Why? Because he set the all-time career passing touchdown mark in week 1. Sandys had that week 1 victory over Odessa High. Now you can go to myhighplains.com. Mike Clark did a great interview with him, and you can find that on our website, myhighplains.com.
Scores and highlights may be in the books, but we are definitely not finished yet.
When we come back, we'll be joined by Cale Steed of Press Pass Sports to
tell us what we learned tonight.
Whoop, whoop.
Welcome back, everyone. As I say every week, one of my favorite parts of the show and what we learned tonight as we are joined by...
You didn't say it right.
What we learned tonight. And Cale Steed of Press Pass Sports. Before we move on, Courtney Davis made her debut with us here on the Locker Room. She's been on it in a bunch of different capacities, but she started as an intern of yours.
Yeah, 18 years old.
Yeah, so she's been in this business a lot longer than some would think, and she was actually doing stuff on this show with us with Press Pass Sports back in the day. So very cool to see.
Yeah, I'm so proud of Corinne and how far she's come since 18. You know, when she emailed me right when she was out of high school that summer, and to see the growth, man, and to see the development, and somebody that's taking it seriously in the drive. I'm not saying this because she's here. I'm saying it because I'm sincere. She's probably the proudest people I've ever had. Every day.
And we say this all the time. We care because she cares.
That's what I'm saying.
And that makes it cool.
True professional.
Yes, let's dive into this. Let's start with some nuggets that you found from tonight.
Oh, man, let's go Boys Ranch. 2-0 for the first time since 2011. Congrats to Luis Kelly.
Yes.
Those guys are rolling. Fritch, 2-0 for the first time since 2016. How about that for Stanford Fritch? And congrats to Derek Shelton at Farwell, his first career win. And congrats to Aaron Wampler, his first win at River Road.
And Bovina getting a win with their revamped stadium.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Wade Wilson, our boy Wade Wilson, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with some of the, as you guys call them on PressPassSports.news, big ticket games. One of those in Canadian tonight, Canadian-Bushland.
This game was a defensive battle tonight. You know, it was 17-14.5, and then the Canadian defense really just shut it down second half. You know, I think Bushland punted on every possession in the second half. Canadian only scored 1 touchdown in the second half themselves. So very good defense in this game. Canadian held Bushland at 279 yards, but then the offense, you know, Riggs Pennington, you had highlights of him earlier, the 6'6" tight end. 3 touchdowns, 175 yards on 9 catches.
Wow.
Weston Mitchell looked
Game
good.
breaker.
Yeah, big win for the Wildcats, 2-0. Now Dumas comes in next week. Colt Mills in that offense coming in.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Another big ticket game tonight. It was the one that you got to see from start to finish, Panhandle Stratford.
Yeah, it was freezing in Panhandle tonight, but I got to see the truck, the man, Broxton Robinson, and he did his thing. 183 rushing, 185 passing, 5 combined touchdowns. The guy's the real deal, man, and the offensive line dominated, but I love what Broxton can do. He extends plays. He makes things happen with his feet. You saw the juke move. Panhandle made a statement tonight early that they're here, and they're a team that looks like they could be playing December football.
We've seen one quarterback from a smaller school go and dominate at Army. Maybe we'll see.
Maybe we'll see another.
Maybe we'll see another. 4 teams, 2 districts that I want to get to. Let's start with Emerald High and Tascosa. You can start with either school you'd like.
You know, I threw this at you. I throw this at you right now. Emerald High, 41-21 on the road. Jet Lopez, Oliver Parsons, Austin Sluter, Hey Jude Donovan. This offense, unbelievable.
It's very good. It's as high-powered as offense as we've seen with Emerald High in a long time. They have a lot of different pieces. They can beat you on the ground. They can beat you through the air. Jet Lopez is as talented as quarterback as I've seen at Emerald High in quite some time as well, and he has the pieces around him. Tascosa, their strength seems to be on defense.
Defensive line, Chris Johnson, you saw a great highlight of him earlier. That defensive line, that linebacker core, they're carrying them so far. The running game got going against Legacy. Now let's go to CISD. I know you wanted to go there. 3-0 tonight. Canyon, Randall, West Plains. West Plains won Thursday night, allowed 1 yard to Clint and Scorpions. 1 yard.
Yeah, and they have some big tests ahead of them, but they look primed for a deep run right now.
They do.
Where else do you want to?
You know, I'd like to throw it real quick. I want you to know we do this what we learned tonight, but we're also doing this because of Clint, and thanks to Clint.
Yeah.
We're doing this on PressPass.news exclusively. We have this on our website. We do an extended version. You can check Clint and I out there on PressPass.news. Thanks for letting me do that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it doesn't put time constraints on us. That's just what it is in the TV world, so it is nice to have an extended look over there as well. And where can they find that? On your YouTube and at
on our YouTube at PressPass Sports and on PressPass.news or any of our socials. You can find that at PressPass Sports. The extended version, you and I usually post that Saturday morning.
Game recaps and stats and all of those kind of things will be over at PressPassSports.news as well. Go over there and sign up. It's well worth the small admission to get into the website.
2 weeks into this show, you guys have nailed it.
Kel, we appreciate it. Have a good night.